And so the business acquisition cycle typically is letter of intent.
Okay.
So non-binding document between the buyer and the seller saying these are the basic terms that we've agreed to. Neither of us has to actually finish the transaction, but we're just saying this is the map.
Where we're starting, right? It's the outline.
Generally, we have the price. We're not bound to the price, but this is where we're at. This is what's going to be exchanged. Any other like non-competes or any special terms there that may have been addressed, and then timelines. You know, we have 30 days to finish the negotiations, 90 days, whatever it may be, what's reasonable within the industry. And the one thing that there's two things that are typically binding in an LOI, which are during this time period, you're not going to sell the business to somebody else.
Okay.
Like we're agreeing we're going to negotiate for 30 days. We can walk away at any time, but you can't, neither party can do something that would prohibit them from completing the transaction. And just confidentiality that, we're not going to talk about, like you're not going to talk to me and then turn around to another buyer or something and say, hey, this buyer's telling me this,
Right.
But other than that, no one's going to be required to finish the transaction if we can't come to a purchase agreement, which is the next stage of the transaction, typically. Once the high-level points are agreed to, the attorneys will take over and will knock out the 15 to 50-page purchase agreement, depending on the nature of the business and the complexity of the transaction. And then from there, you'll enter into the due diligence period. Now, that part of the transaction sometimes occurs before I'm even brought on. Sometimes nothing is exchanged until we get the purchase agreement. That can vary. Typically, you have some very, very high-level due diligence early on before you dive into the purchase agreement, because those are costs on both sides that you may not want to incur from legal.